Melody Rights. Tell me about this. What is this? You know what I'm saying? You put me on, teach me something. What happened?
So one of my favorite businesses right now that I was literally trying to figure out how to invest into it is called Even Biz. The reason I've been interested in it is because it gives artists a way for them to sell and distribute their music without having to go through a label, through a DSP or something like that. And I think that this is going to be a new route and avenue for a lot of artists. We're seeing artists, even as big as Drake, deal with issues with his label as far as releasing and getting rights to his music and things like that. I also saw Mick Jenkins recently put out his newer project on there, and I didn't get to listen to it, which I was really disappointed about personally because at the time I didn't feel like paying for an album. But it's something that I definitely think more artists are going to do. I think once we see bigger artists migrate to this way of doing things, then it'll become a bigger thing. But Melody Rights is a new platform that's similar to Even Biz. It's based out of the UK. It aims to revolutionize the way creators and musicians get to distribute their music. It really focuses on other revenue streams that a lot of other artists cannot get or benefit from due to DSPs, due to their label. They're not trying to be like a CD Baby or a DistroKid. They're not going to distribute Spotify or Apple. They're really trying to steer away from those businesses and be more of a unique selling proposition for these new artists, not new artists, but artists in general. Um, it's going to focus on a wide range of income streams, like I said, micro licensing, as well as music and video games. That's another one that I think a lot of artists make good money off of. And Staples has talked
Yeah.
about that. I remember that. Different social music platforms like SoundCloud, Mixcloud, Bandcamp, things like that. And also royalties that they probably wouldn't get just distributing to a label. And they're also talking about a lot of transparency and control things that they're trying to get figured out, some artist plans and some producer plans as far as the splits go, which those look really good. So I think this is going to be something that's interesting to see, like the different platforms that come about with the new way that artists are trying to distribute their music. I think there's a lot of artists who are fed up with how the normal label system is. Streaming fucked it up even more than it was back in the day. So hopefully this brings a lot of artists a bunch of new revenue streams. And we already saw artists like the Russell profiting heavily off of this. So I want to see more artists, bigger artists trying stuff like this once they can get out of their deals. But that's the bigger problem, is getting out of their deals.
That's dope. You know, I was thinking about this the other day. Everybody that wants to be a musician or an artist, like a solo artist, not all of them are going to get a #1 hit.
Right.
Majority of them are not. You know what I'm saying? And it got me to thinking about all the times like I've heard other writers, creators, artists even speak about like different syncs that they got, different writing credits that they had, right? Utilizing the skill for other people and other projects as opposed to their own likeness and brand, right? Like I saw Pusha T talking, like Pusha T talks about all the time, like how he wrote for McDonald's and Arby's, and he's done all of these like writing credits outside of music. And I feel like not enough people talk about if the skill, even though you're an artist, if your skill is your pen, like you can go sell your pen and use that to fund your lifestyle or your own career. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of artists don't think about that, at least initially, right? Like you want to get yourself popping, yeah, but you need funds to get yourself popping. And if you're skilled, like why not take advantage of like companies and platforms that are willing to help get you in front of other people that will get you paid that could probably further your career in other ways. But yeah, I feel like a lot of music business, music tech platforms are gonna be popping up. You know what I'm saying? Like I just watched a video with Peter Thiel where he was talking about the next Google, Facebook, or Meta, Apple, it won't be in the same fields that these companies are already in because they're essentially monopolies, right? There's not going to be
Right.
another $1 billion search engine platform that competes with Google. It's going to be a platform that like it's in its own niche or it's in its own lane that it really doesn't have any competition. I don't know what the next big tech music platform will be, but it's interesting to watch. Damn. It's interesting to watch these companies like try and figure it out, right? We talk about Dice on here a lot, which is one of my favorite music tech platforms, but they just sold Boiler Room the other day to another
Wow.
investment group. And it says that they're about to, they just, over the last year or two, they've got over they've got over $200 million in investments to just Dice, and they're valued at something higher than that. You know what I'm saying? And I find it interesting to see how these platforms move because I don't know what the next progression is, right? Like it went from vinyl to tapes to CDs to the internet illicit streaming to the streaming platforms. Is there another version coming or are we just is this the final boss? And I feel like a lot of these platforms or these businesses creating different solutions for problems will eventually figure that out for us. I don't know what it's gonna be though.
Yeah, I'm leaning more on the side of the whole what even biz and what this platform are trying to do. I think it's like the saying of everything, or sorry, nothing is new under the sun. People say in fashion, everything comes back every 20 to 30 years. I think that it's similar to that. People are yearning for what it used to be. Um, I guess there were still artists having issues with their labels and getting things distributed and getting things out. But I think people had more hard stuff and there was more, I guess there used to be more money in the music business. I think it used to be, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. So who
You know what I'm
knows?
saying? Oh, yo, when R&R Records, when it come around, we're gonna find out. You know what I'm saying? Well, when we get in, we're gonna find out. But
And
yeah,
only 720s. Only
only
720s.
720 deals. Yo, get down or lay down. That's all we doing.